I would go for a very high price, you know? Like if I feel like if I'm escorting on the streets of Miami, like maybe it's like people are willing to pay me like $5 for a blowy, you know? And it's
Right.
just
But no, I think, but in Fargo, you'd bank. You'd make
oh,
bank.
okay. Thank you.
You
That's
would
Yeah.
actually
bank, and also you are straight. So, like, if someone wants a blowy, I would add another $5 because you're straight. Lots of the gays
thank
I
have
mean,
that
you.
I
straight
I had
fetish.
a short conversation with your wife, and she told me you were a shower and a grower, so you wouldn't be subjected to like the shrinkage of Fargo. I think you'd make a lot of money over there.
15.
Oh, thank you. That is like such a sweet compliment. Like put that in a Hallmark card, you know? I think you could get
Or two for
15 for a blowy.
25, you know,
Okay.
two for
Okay.
25.
A deal. I love a
I
good buck.
mean, I will do anything for $1. So, I mean, I've thought of OnlyFans because there are a lot of varieties on OnlyFans, but I don't know. I agree. I don't know if anyone would pay for me. I just have one question before we move on. What do you mean? Because you said you were threatened and you just said all that. And again, Rosario, whatever his name was, Anna said it, not me. What do you mean Bravo knows about this? Because you said Bravo knows that you were
Oh, I
allegedly threatened.
not allegedly threatened. I was
Threatened.
threatened. We
Sorry.
can post the thing. They threatened me on somebody else's Instagram account. So, and before they deleted it, we got a screenshot. Yeah, Bravo knows about it. Andy knows about it. I told him.
You told him.
Yeah,
And what did he say?
they were very concerned. They were very concerned, and they told me like they suggested that I call the police, and they suggested, they said um, that I should call his parole officer and whatever. But I don't listen. You know why I don't do it? Because as ill behaved as her son Peter is, Frankie is innocent and he loves his dad and he doesn't know anything. He does not understand any of the things. His dad is his father and his father's good to him. And I don't want him to not have that because, her life has been in turmoil because things have happened to her, but also, you know, you contribute. There's no way that you can marry one guy that's a drug dealer when you cover. She talks about the story in Cocaine Cowboys, how like she didn't let the police in when he was there, like that whole drama. Then she married a guy that if she didn't know he was gay, she would have to be blind. Her mother knew he was gay. Her mother told me that she asked him the day that he told her at a place called Carpaccio in Valhalla.
Miami?
They were having lunch, and the mother, the psychiatrist, and no dummy, said to him, "Why would you want to marry my daughter? You're gay." And he was totally offended. It was so obvious. I loved Herman. Herman was my friend. I loved Herman, and I am only saying this now because she outed him, and I don't think she had a right to do that. But it doesn't take away from the fact that that was his secret, if it was a secret, and she lived very well. He was amazing to her children, amazing. I spent time at that hospital when Frankie had his accident, and he treated those children as if they were his own, left them a lot of money, which is what they're living off now because nobody there really works. And so it's just she's made bad decisions for the
Uh,
wrong reasons.
I would come at it and say, what a great decision because one, you got to marry a man who wasn't going to bother you. Like she was never getting poked at night. Two, he had a shit ton of money. So it's like, great
Where
investment. I
do
think
I sign? At this
she,
point in my life, where do I sign?
I think what a great businesswoman.
Yeah, I,
I
I agree.
I have a friend. We'll do it a 10-second segue. I have a friend, really true story. She lives on the Upper East Side of New York. She is married to someone who has a gazillion dollars and he is truly asexual. She finds in his chat history asexual. He goes to asexual like meetings and I'm
Asexual
like,
anonymous.
she has a whole secret apartment across town where she does all her stuff. I'm like, this is
She
a
gets tea
gift.
there.
She gets tons of dick there. And I'm like, you are the smartest to marry someone with a
Yeah,
ton of money who's
but is he wealthy?
asexual.
Is he?
Yes. Yes. She married him for money. He's not the most attractive man, but he's asexual. I'm like, you have hit the fucking
Asexual
jackpot.
is good. Asexual is a good option.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I tell
Sign
my
me
wife
up.
all the time. I say, listen, if things don't work out with us, I'm going to find myself a sugar daddy or a sugar mama, and I hope that they're close to death. Like
Yeah,
I'm not doing it
exactly.
anymore. I'm not going for love. I'm just going for money.
No, at a certain point,
I
love
agree.
overrated, guys. Overrated.
I am.
I think we need to be honest about it. No, I think she was in love with Todd, and I think that she just pushed too much, you know? I think there was a time that he also was in love with her.
You
I think
Let's
do?
not
he met
forget
her.
that. Let's not forget that Todd did record like a 15-minute video apologizing. Like that shows you like as much as he may be a bigwig out in the corporate real estate world, this
Oh,
man
yeah,
is
he's not. He's a
also
little bit, yeah.
unhinged, you know? I do think he probably has a huge dick. Like if you look at his nose, you're like, oh, he's
You
packing.
think?
But
You
oh yeah,
think?
for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's definitely not. He's unhinged.
Yeah, he is. He is, and I think he has there's a dark side there, and I've seen him get really mad at her kids. But it's like I get mad at her kids too. Like not her kids, her kid, because he's disrespectful. And this guy, you know, he has these children and he's ended up in this relationship. It's like, what did I get myself into? When he met her, first of all, 7 years ago. At our age, 7 years is huge, guys. Huge. And you know, they met at the meat market in Miami, someplace called Sea Spice on a Sunday, and he was enamored by her, you know, Miami, sexy, Latina, but I mean, Real Housewives was way in the rearview mirror. There was no expectation that that would ever come back. And then it came back and she became
But I think Todd liked the cameras until he realized that he could look like an idiot. I think he enjoyed the experience. I think he was like, you know what? I love TV and this is going to grow. And then he looked like an idiot with that apology video and being like, you gave him Godiva chocolates? Who's giving him Godiva chocolates? You know, like he looked like such an asshole.
The good stuff. The good stuff.
Wait,
that
so
was
you
really, you know, that's when you realize that he's kind of a little bit of a simpleton himself. You know, he has these like daisies, dilapidated daisies from like the grocery store, right? Not even real flowers. I got flowers and I've got the good stuff. Like Godiva's not the good stuff, you know? Like there's good stuff, but like it's just funny. And you know, Anthony, I remember asking Anthony about it because I thought it was so funny. He's like, poor guy, you know, he's a nice guy. He's like, Anthony doesn't really say anything bad about anybody, but I think Anthony is who Todd wishes he could be or aspires to be. And he's trying to get there, but he realizes that with this woman by his side, that's not going to happen. He loses a lot of credibility.
do you think the show, because right, like to your point, they met 7 years ago. There was the Miami was never coming back. They made it come back. They built it. Like what you think the show, do you think the show led to this?
Oh, come on. Yes, of course. Because for people for whom this show is everything. Now, if you watch, and you could probably include it in here. She was on Two Teas in a Pod way before this divorce happened.
What podcast?
Two Teas.
I don't know that podcast.
I'm sorry. There's a podcast.
The Tam Rat, the rat that scurries.
There's that podcast. And she went on there and she was really unhinged. And she said, because people want to get between me and Todd and blah, blah, blah. And I will step down from that show when I decide